It's the White Sea and Christo SA Bros.
Yes, goeienaand allemaal en welkom by SA Bros. Wat sê jy, Chris?
Dude, lekker, hoorie, vanaand is een van die aande, bro, ek dink nie die ouens besef fucking exactly wat gebeur nie. Ouens, ons sou 'n ander bra opgehad het, soos julle weet. Hy het personal problems gehad en hy kan ons nie join nie, so ons gedagtes en ons liefde is uit daar so saam met Riyad Musa. Maar vanaand het ons 'n bra, hierdie bra, kom ek sê vir julle gou ietsie. Christo hy het vir Elvis se seun en staf gitaar gespeel en so, en hy speel op die oomblik op die skepe. Hy werk nou daar op die skepe, en soos wat almal weet, is die skepe fucking 'n nes vir hierdie virus en so gewees. En nou net voordat ons begin het hy vir ons 'n paar horror stories en shit vertel. So ek is seker almal wat hierna gaan luister gaan weet. Gaan nie hulle ore glo nie. Christo is ook as 'n
Hulle ore glo.
Hulle ore glo nie, hulle oë glo nie. Christo is self nou 'n survivor van die COVID-19. Hy het dit gehad, so hy gaan met ons praat oor wat se symptoms hy gehad het en wat se shit op hy skepe gebeur het, want kyk, as jy al ooit op een van daai skepe gewerk het of op was, dan vooraf sê hulle vir jou, luister die bra, daar's 'n broeines vir virusse en goeters. En een kan 'n siekte het. Een kan 'n siekte het en voor jy weet is die hele fucking skip siek en dis 'n serious storie. So ons weet Christus net gou besig om sy staf daar te restart. Hy gaan ons join. Warwick, wat sê jy my bro? Hy gaan ons join via satellite phone en satellite wifi en so. Dis al wat hulle het op 'n skip. En dan gaan ons met hom kan praat. Dude, net van wat ons voor die tyd gepraat het, ek seker jy kan die ouens sê, net pretty much wat om te verwag. Dis 'n
dude, ons het nou Dr. Nikki Reins gehad wat ons vertel het hoe bad dit kan wees en wat die simptome, maar ons het nooit met 'n patiënt gepraat of iemand wat dit actually gehad het nie. And we as South Africans, and what he mentioned earlier is going to come up in the show is but we as South Africans have been screaming and shouting at the government saying they've taken our rights away, and Christo, the way he's speaking about it, yes, the numbers are low, but if this virus does actually catch flame and spreads rapidly through the people, he says it's like Chris mentioned just now, it's a horror story. You don't want to experience this virus, and he's going to tell, I'm not going to give it away because he'll tell us, but the ship he's on has had some fatalities. But it looks like he's on.
Okay.
Let's bring him.
Ons gaan nou sien, man. Kom ons check of die bra is.
He is struggling a bit with the Wi-Fi.
Dis okay. Ons kan praat terwyl ons wag vir hom met ons secure ding kry.
There we go. Christo, is jy daar?
Hy sit die volume aan, ek kan hoor hoe doen hy dit.
Tik.
En fucking posie ding weer, maar hou hom net daaraan. Hy gaan nou hoor. Hou hom net so. Sodra hy weer signal het, dan kan ons check. Okay, alles loop daarso. So dis 'n moerse horror story wat net van die begin af wat 'n ou met hom praat,
ek is so bly hy's alright.
Yes, maar ek was in total disbelief. Dit is amper unreal hoe hy dit verduidelik, wat hy sê, wat daar gebeur het, en jy weet, dit klink soos 'n freaking horror movie, man, en dis moer scary, en ek en White self pelle met ou Christo, ons jam al jare en goeie saam, dik pelle, tequila broers, dis wat ek kan sê, ons is tequila brothers, so dan jy tight.
Ons albei stap 'n lang paadjie saam met ou Christo.
Lang pad, julle twee stap 'n moer lang pad, ou.
Exactly.
Dude, freaking hell, ek kan nie wag vir hom op te kom nie, maar
dis nie ek nie. Hy ek weet. Dis hy. Christo, is jy daar?
Yes, ek sien so.
Yes.
We bro, hallo Suid-Afrika. Sê hallo, man.
Hey, how's it? Are we live?
Yes, we live.
Ons is live, dude. Ons praat nou net. Hoorie, bro, kom ek het nou net vir die ouens gesê, okay, jy's Christo jy jam nou daar op die skepe, jy het vir Elvis se seun gejam, en jy het 'n klomp ander bands en goeters gejol, maar nou speel jy daar op die skepe, en ek dink, maybe het ek het 'n bietjie dik aangeplak, maar ek het vir die ouens gesê, hulle gaan nie freaking glo, wat se kakka alles op hy skepe gebeur het nie, dude, so, Asseblief, lig ons 'n bietjie meer in
Kyk
op
as
wat
aan 'n
is
toer, yes.
ja, op watse skip is jy? Wanneer het jy geboord en fucking wanneer het al hierdie kak begin nou?
Okay, I'm going to speak in English because I have some American people tuning in.
No problem. Then we'll speak American, not English. We'll speak
It's like,
American. It's like, hey, Master Kana, so we'll speak
Okay,
American.
so firstly, I just want to say how nice it is to see your guys' faces, man. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
definitely.
Oh man, and just to hear my accent again like this, you know.
Beautiful.
And also, I'm not a spokesperson for any kind of cruise ship company or anything.
No, not
this
at
is
all.
just my own experience and so on. But yeah, I mean, this virus is pretty hectic, you know. Been making music on the ships and having a really good time, and then all of a sudden, this thing comes and hits hard, you know.
Turns it
Very,
into a
very
horror
insane.
movie, yeah.
Turns it into a horror movie. I mean, at the end of the day, just from this ship, we
Yeah.
had over 900 infections and over 26 deaths and counting.
And counting.
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I got infected, but I recovered, so I'm okay, and a lot of my colleagues as well.
Well, you know what,
But,
Christo, can you tell us more about the symptoms that you had and maybe elaborate on some symptoms that some of the other like passengers had? Because before the time we spoke a bit, but I think if you tell these people what you experienced, maybe, you know, you can shine some light on it. Please, man.
Yeah, so my symptoms were, okay, so firstly, our ship was quarantined, okay?
Yeah.
We basically couldn't get supplies as often as we could have on fresh food and stuff. So when I
Yeah.
started experiencing lack of taste and lack of smell for a day, I thought it was the food that I
The
ate.
food,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah, and I wasn't feeling sick. I didn't have a temperature. I still have my temperature logs right over here.
Yeah.
And it basically just got to the point where you have this weird taste in your, in your throat,
Yeah.
and you can't taste the difference between foods
Yes.
or smell, but you still have some kind of weird lingering taste or smell in your throat, you know. But you'll
Yeah.
instantly know it. Now that you know what to look for, you'll instantly know if you have it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird thing. There were some people on the ship who fell ill in March, and they are still very, very ill, very ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've been evacuated, and it was quite severe because they were evacuated in very rough waters, in international waters via lifeboat.
Yes.
Because we were not allowed to be inside territory. So it was risky operations. Also, it was just too windy, and the weather wouldn't allow for helicopter evacuations, but that was the initial plan.
Yeah.
And some people's lives were saved due to evacuations. You know,
Okay, well,
yeah.
that's a blessing. But listen, when did you board the ship, and how did the virus get onto the ship? Do you have any idea what happened there, or can you tell us?
So there's only speculation as to who patient zero is.
Yeah.
Because it's speculation. I don't want to say it was this or that because it's nobody's fault, you know. But what happened was I climbed on the 5th of December,
Yeah.
and by then things started picking up with a virus in China, and then we heard the news about the Diamond Princess, which is a sister ship of ours.
Okay.
And I know from, well, we all as crew know from the way Princess Cruises operates,
Yeah.
that health is the utmost priority. It's basically,
It's number
there's
one,
hand
health and safety,
sanitization stations everywhere. You can't go into any of the theaters or bars or venues without washing your hands a couple of times. It's just
Yeah.
impossible. And even on
Yeah.
the safety video, they specifically tell you not to shake people's hands because of a thing called norovirus. So
Yes.
when we started hearing about one of our ships getting struck, we were pretty amazed by that because we know how strict the company is and so on.
Yeah.
And then the last time we had passengers was supposed to be a 14-day cruise.
Okay.
We picked them up on I think it was the 8th of
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
And round about the 15th, the Australian government announced they won't be accepting any more ships, and we were due to dock there to disembark our passengers and pick new passengers up. And
Okay.
round about the 15th, we were supposed to finish the 19th. Around about the 15th, we basically got told to turn around, come back to Australia now. And by the time we got there, we had some sick people who got off in ambulance and so on. But we were still very healthy on the ship. We had no idea. And we just embarked them on the 19th, and the cruise was only supposed to end the 21st or 22nd, somewhere around there. And so the cruise was shorter. So it was only like a 11-day cruise or something short like that. And that's all it took for this virus to really just spread everywhere, And before we knew it, all my colleagues started falling ill and we're getting isolated. We were chased out of Australian waters, for good reason. Any ship, it doesn't matter who it was, they would have gone through the same treatment.
Yes,
And
but listen,
in
doesn't maritime law state that if a ship has got problems and stuff, the closest port or something's actually, they have to help them? Isn't that international law?
Absolutely, and that's what we did. And to be fair, the people of Australia were actually very nice with us. But because we had problems and there were so many other ships who had problems, everybody was rushing for the big ports like Sydney, and they just couldn't, cope with all the ships. So it was just said everybody must just go, And in hindsight, I think everybody handled it as well as we could. It's a very tragic loss of life and people getting sick. But there was nothing we could have done better. I mean, we were healthy. We social distanced. We tried everything to prevent it from spreading. And it's just the virus is very, very, very potent. Like you can't stop it.
Can you tell us a bit more about what you saw? Like what do people experience? Obviously, you experience like the loss of taste and smell. And is that a common thing with everything? If you get it?
So, well, the thing that I saw, because I volunteered to do the temperature checks and deliver the food for the sick people, because when we disembarked our passengers, it was only crew left. So I volunteered to help with that. And the thing that we were looking for on the forms were basically a temperature and a few other signs, if they have a dry throat, coughing. At that point, when we started, the whole lack of taste, lack of smell thing wasn't really a big part of the symptoms. We're still learning, And so I suspect that's how me and my colleagues got sick. Maybe because, well, it's hard to tell because we were wearing gloves, we were wearing very, very high quality masks. And somehow we still got sick. But some of the people that experienced some other symptoms, basically heavy respiratory problems, like really struggle.
So it's all breathing related,
breathing, but that's what we looked for at the time. And there were well, maybe there was some other symptoms that we didn't know to ask for, like lack of taste or lack of smell. That wasn't on the actual form at the time. But
because there was no info.
There was no info, and it's something we sort of also figured out for ourselves, like the rest of the people in the world, that this is a symptom. But it wasn't something we were specifically told to ask or look for. But it's quite a severe case for some of these people. I mean, some of them, it's been 2 months now, they're still in hospitals. And they're young, fit, young people like me, they're not necessarily old people. So it's frightening,
Yes, dude. Well, you know what? We're glad you're okay. I know now it's probably like 1:15 in the morning there by you, and we just want to say, you know what? Thank you for sticking it out. I know I found you a bit earlier.
No, I'm only getting I'm awake, bro. I'm cool.
Awesome. Well, dude, you know what? Once again, thanks for letting us know, man. We see a lot of people coming online now saying that,
okay,
you know what?
So
They're very relieved that you're okay and that you're still going strong. So, because me and you, we chat all the time. I tell you, listen, but we got to go fishing. Ons moet gaan visvang en sodra jy terug is, gaan ons visvang, Poppy. Then we're going to go. I don't want to take you out to the deep sea again. I don't want to go deep sea fishing with you. I think a dam would be quite nice.
Your
You know what,
bath
you can
will
have
be
your-
fine.
Yes. The thing is, like, you can get your sea legs on a big ship, but on a small well, even a big a fishing vessel.
Yes.
The minute you in and this basically just floating, that's when you lose control of your vomit. You just
Yeah.
everybody gets seasick. You can't
When the
stop it.
sickness kicks in, dude, I've seen experienced seamen get freaking
Yeah.
snort sick the moment. That's why I love game fishing, because you're constantly cruising, you
Yeah.
trolling. The
Yeah.
moment you
Yeah,
stand still, especially on a single hull little
that's the,
boat,
that's
dude,
when it
it's
happens. Yeah,
in Afrikaans I call it a kots machine, bro. It's a kots machine. Because this is all you're doing the whole time, and you can look at the horizon as much as you want. Nothing's gonna work,
nothing
dude. You're
else.
just gonna get
Yeah.
sick, and it's bound to happen. I've even jumped in the water. Now that works wonders for me, and I've also told other oaks, like I've had buddies where they empty. There's no more cotch coming out. There's like little yellow foam on the
Okay, all right.
sides of their mouths from being seasick the whole time, and then you just tell them, listen, just get in the water, and then they'll go like, no, but because South African waters is like, if you've been courting, you've been chumming. That's pretty much the thing you've been doing. You've been throwing food into the water, and once the guys jump in, they're like, all right, yeah, no, I'm fine, because they're scared of sharks. And then you pull the guy back up again, and dude, not even a minute, and that uncle be
Yeah, sick again.
chundering lekker. Yes, he did. So it was that. How did your entertainment stuff go? Because obviously you were entertaining, and the next moment everybody's going, "Hey,
Well,
fucking
I did. Yeah, so it was pretty hectic because in terms of entertainment, I mean, I was performing not only for the passengers but also for the crew in the crew area, where
yeah,
the big parties happen, the wild parties,
yes, yes,
the
yes,
awesome parties.
yes,
And it's just when the news hit, there was an immediate sort of nervousness from passengers and crew to say, okay, listen, I'm going to take it upon myself to self-isolate. And even at that time, we didn't have a lot of information.
yeah,
They were still busy sorting the issue out on two of our other vessels.
yeah,
And I honestly believe we made the news because we're open and honest about these things.
yeah,
That's our company's policies, is like to be open. If there's illness, then everybody must know.
yeah,
And it happened with us to the point where I saw the other vessels were self-isolating, but people were still going out for a bit of exercise, which you have to. You can't be in a cabin stuck without fresh air or anything.
yes,
And it was just weird because going from entertaining on the stage to the point where you kind of see a full crowd. I mean, I got videos of where I'm performing and there's like hundreds of people in front of me going crazy.
yeah,
And the very next show after the news hit, it's like
yeah.
the chairs are far away and people are like far away. They want to be a part of it, but they're too scared,
Yes.
And
All for good reason,
rightfully so. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, even in the crew area, well, this was before everything happened. It's a very good story. I'll tell you what happened because we
Okay.
only found out we had cases on board the day after our passengers disembarked. So we were still having the ship for ourselves that night. We were having a crew party on the deck. We were all having like amazing time, the whole ship for ourselves, because we weren't taking any more passengers because of the virus scares.
Yeah.
And the next day we got told, listen, there were some cases on board, and everything changed. It went from a party ship where the crew were in bikinis and everything was crazy in the pool to nobody's allowed to walk anywhere on the ship. We had to be in our cabins.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more they could have done to sort of prevent this virus from spreading. But the mood itself was also a killer in a way. People literally, I mean, there's people who've been on the ship at that point for 9 months. They were supposed to go home, and now they're still on the ship. So but the mood completely changed. The entertainment, everything changed. And I know from my friends at head office, is actually a very nice lady I met a couple of months ago who works at head office. She tells me they're busy planning to see how which way forward, on a ship now. They're basically going to say, right, only so many people allowed in the theater. And I mean, our theater, which takes 860 people, I think, was already sold out. 2 shows a night sold out, and you just, people missed the show because of. But now, imagine squeezing maybe 200 or 300 people in a theater. I mean, it's going to definitely change the entertainment big time. I mean, even the bars, the venues. I mean, I can only imagine how difficult it's going to be now, because you're busy performing, and the shows are normally back here in front of the stage, and people are singing with. Now it's going to be people sitting far apart from each other, most probably, and
Well, I'm sure you know what. I know the guys on the entertainment on the ships. They are top notch, and they will find a way to keep that entertainment so every customer and every client can participate in the fun and stuff on a boat. What was the biggest change for you, man? Firstly, let me ask this: how many people can be on that ship that you're on?
Okay, so we are a princess ship. Okay, so princess ships, the type of ship I'm on now. This is the Ruby Princess. Is a very, very big ship. And what's nice about it is the Oasis of the Seas, which came out 10 years ago, which held 9,000 people, is only 5 meters higher and 5.5 meters wider on each side. That's it. It's pretty much the same ship. So on that particular ship, it's 9,000 people. On this ship, which is like the same size, including crew, it is just over 4,000. Okay. Or round about 4,000.
Well, you know what? That should be a blessing, man, because that means you guys do have a bit more space. Your cabin should be a bit bigger and stuff as well. So how long have you been in your cabin, Boots?
So what happened was, because I'm entertainment, I get my own cabin. Only certain types of entertainment. I got my own cabin. And then the minute we found out we were virus stricken, they moved us into guest cabins. And because I was part of the crew that were helping people and helping them move from the inside cabins to guest cabins, I got a mini suite actually. So I'm busy packing, so it's a little bit dirty. You can see.
Let's have a look.
There's my TV there, and so sorry, it's very dirty. Oh, by the way, we have these on the ship. I don't know if you can see that.
You lucky bastard! We can't smoke in South Africa, bro.
It's so big. I even have a bath. It's my clothes, and like this is a big cabin. I've been stuck in this cabin. It's a mini suite, and there's my balcony. I don't want to open the door and go outside because that connects to a different point, and then it loses signal. Oh, but I don't know if you can see some of the ships out there.
Let's have a look.
There's like over 30.
We can't see anything.
I just don't want to open it in case it loses signal.
No, don't worry.
But I'll post some pictures. But what's heavy about it is
have you been able to there's the ship.
Am I correct?
Oh, there it is.
That's the Ruby Princess.
That's the Ruby.
Okay, and
very, very
you know
cool,
what? When we look at that picture, where are you on that boat?
I'm smack in the middle of that.
There somewhere.
Yes.
One there. Exactly there where your mouse is now. There.
Okay, so
there you go.
that's where our bro is. That's brilliant. Well,
go.
dude, have you been able to at least just walk around a bit, or how long were you guys in quarantine where you were literally locked up in your cabins before you could move around?
Okay, so that was 2 months, and because we weren't able to dock, we basically had to get food on bulk when we could. And by the time we ate some of it, it was already expired. But in fairness, we weren't treated like dogs or animals. This was the best we could do at the time. And it wasn't nice eating expired food and horrible food. But they made up for it because about 2 months into this whole cabin arrest type vibe, we were allowed to go eat in the buffet as soon as the ship started becoming healthy again. So now we're eating like kings, and I actually put on a lot of weight the last 2 weeks.
That's great.
But we're eating like kings. I mean,
excellent, and you can taste
we're
food
allowed
again,
out
so
of
you're probably chowing down now.
Yeah, yeah. I can taste it. And there's South Africans on the ship, so we eat a lot of Durban style curry food on here, which is delicious.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
And we have some real Italian chefs on here. But the thing is that for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'd say we were able to eat up there,
Yeah.
and we're allowed half an hour before we go eat to walk around, and
Okay.
half an hour after, and
Okay.
that's it. So at least we're able to stretch our legs a little bit and do
Yeah.
everything. And believe me, this was not an easy decision for these guys because these guys they take the situation very very seriously.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
got a message from my one friend that the ship takes 3,720 something people
Holy shit.
altogether.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, dude, where are you docked at the moment? Are you docked or are you still in international waters? Where are you now?
So we are where all the other ships are currently congregating, which is Manila port.
Yeah.
And there's over 30 cruise ships here, and we're not in the port itself. We're anchored just outside of the port.
Yeah.
So there's just rows of cruise ships here. It's actually quite a thing to see, you know.
Yeah.
And as the airports started opening, they started repatriating some of the crew. So just the other day, all the Filipino crew members got off, which is awesome for them. And we are actually able to get a flight home on Friday
Yeah.
for the first time. So that's nice. But there are other people on board here, like for instance, all the people from India and Indonesia.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go on different ships and they're going to get sailed home. And some of our colleagues on the other princess ships and carnival ships have basically sailed home to Cape Town from the Bahamas, Europe, other places like that,
Yeah.
just to get them home because all the countries are closed.
Yes.
You can't go anywhere. Yeah, we actually have some people from Mauritius here who can't
Okay.
get home. We have some people from Zimbabwe who is able to get home.
Okay.
Sure.
So some guys can go home. South Africans, you got to stay on the ship.
Well, some guys are coming home with us to our Tambo.
Okay.
So yeah, but the rest of them, no, they can't go home. There are some countries that are quite close to us, you know,
Yeah.
African countries. They can't get home. Then there are other countries who were immediately evacuated, which was nice. Some of the musicians and dancers,
Yes.
they're always from England and Ireland and those places.
Yeah.
The minute we got to Port Kembla, okay, so this is a port that they sent us after we got chased out of Australian waters.
Okay.
They asked us to come back so that they could take care of crew that were really sick that needed to be
Yes.
evacuated because it was just getting too dangerous evacuating them onto lifeboats from international
Yeah.
waters. So eventually they sent us to this port where they process coal. So we
Okay.
were there out of sight from the public and so on,
Yeah.
and quarantined on this vessel. And
Okay.
they basically from there contacted the Irish and the British embassies, and within a day or two they had
Yeah.
their flights booked and everything, chartered, organized, everything. And
tell
the
me,
rest of the
American
crew was
guys?
actually
With the American
Yeah,
guys, did
yeah, they
that
were
stuff
off
also go
immediate-
quick?
yeah, very quickly, very quickly. Despite what you may have heard from the American government not wanting its own citizens, that's not true. They were off quickly and they were taken care of very very nicely.
So it's basically
But,
just
yeah.
conspiracy and nonsense again, where people start a rumor and people run with it. Yeah, this and that. Meanwhile, they
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
looking after people. If you take it, look at what the Americans did with that Captain Phillips movie. They sent the Navy SEAL Team 6 and 2 destroyer ships to go save one captain. So they will look after their own people.
Yeah, well, that's
they
in those
will, yeah.
countries. You know, in South Africa at the moment, we're fortunate enough. We're not getting your ships, but we are getting quite a fleet of Chinese ships and submarines
Oh
and
my
stuff in our
word!
ports and
I
stuff.
couldn't
now.
believe it.
Yeah, so when you guys are on your way back here, tell me one thing. Are you guys going to have to be quarantined again when you land here?
Yes, yeah, for 2 weeks.
Okay?
The people that I've been speaking to say we're gonna get sent to hotels in Sandton somewhere.
Okay.
But I know from the Well,
Niet
I'm
te sleg
nervous
nie.
because I know from the video I saw from
Yeah.
Cyril Ramaphosa inspecting the quarantine facility at
Yes.
Nasrec,
Yes.
which is just a big hall with these little cubicles and these little beds inside there.
You're gonna
So
miss
that
your
makes
cabin.
me very nervous.
Exactly.
I'm gonna miss
man.
my cabin, and I got
Yeah.
mixed feelings about going home because I just survived this thing. I got close with some of the people who were badly infected with COVID, and
Yeah.
one of my because I teach ukulele on the ship. One of my
Okay.
ukulele people that I was very close with passed away.
Yeah.
She was one of the first ones, yeah. And I just survived this whole thing, and I'm terrified of coming home because, as I said, it seems like the focus shifted from how bad this virus is to how bad our government is, and now people are not really scared of getting this virus anymore, but they should be. I mean,
Yeah.
they should be
Like,
scared. I mean,
yeah,
this
you
is
you had
something
first-hand experience now with all
Yeah.
of this, and obviously now after you've seen firsthand what it does to people and
Yeah.
what it did to you, because in South Africa there's two parts to South Africa at the moment. There's the part of everybody quarantining, trying to keep the virus at bay and trying to curb the numbers, and then there's the other part of South Africa that don't give a shit. The guys are just carrying on like normal, and it's normally in the informal settlements where, you know, despite 10 people living in a little shack, if they could stay in that shack and the government grants were doing what they said they were doing, those people could survive in those shacks and they could curb the spread. But at the moment, it's like, you know, there's so much stuff going on. It's a white man's virus. It's only killing. It's just gonna kill white guys.
Rich people.
Yeah, rich
and
people
so on.
and stuff. And you firsthand had experience where the black guys die, the rich people. The virus doesn't choose between rich, black or white.
No, it doesn't choose. And the thing is, there were strong young guys my age
Yeah,
who were badly ill. I mean, they had to be evacuated literally in the middle of the night where it's
Yeah.
pitch dark in international waters
yeah,
to be put on a lifeboat where the water is like, it's the roughest seas that I could imagine at the time.
yeah,
And that's how serious the situation was. So
Wow.
definitely,
That's hectic.
this virus doesn't choose anything. But what we do know is,
Yeah.
and I like them actually,
Yeah.
but the crowd that cruises with Princess is your bit of an older crowd.
Yes.
It's that whole Love Boat generation. It was Princess that started Love Boat. Well, Love Boat is Princess, and
Yes.
it's that older sort of crowd, and I love them
yeah.
because they very easy to work with, and they basically paid their dues in life, and they're just easy
Yeah,
going.
man, it's older people. They know how they there to
And-
relax. Yeah,
Yes, and basically, it hit the ship hard because it is a bit of an older crowd. So there's definitely truth that it hits older people harder. I mean, that is
Okay.
a fact.
Yeah.
But there were no how can I say it wasn't limited to old people. There were young people here who got
Like you
severely sick.
Like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
And what we did talk about just now, that what Chris mentioned there, and you said that you must be afraid of this virus. Our attitude has been, to hell with it. Let's just get sick and get over
Yeah.
it so we can get
What
on
are the
with our
odds?
lives.
No.
And it's so glad that we are able to talk to you, because since we started the show, we've never had anybody that actually had it. So we were not
Yeah.
talking under experience, and now you're actually opening our eyes, because we've all
Yes.
been sick and had some horrible things. But you are telling us this is actually extremely bad, because our attitude is like, the media this, the media that, to hell with them. You're just taking our jobs. Meanwhile, they are, in a sense, trying to look after us.
Yeah. Look, I don't agree with the way that the government is doing it by allowing certain businesses to be open, other businesses not. I mean, the banning of cigarettes is just ridiculous in my opinion.
yeah.
And
But-
Okay,
alcohol.
thank you.
Yeah, and alcohol. Speaking
it's
of which, I
not
actually have one beer left. Yeah, and
Slikkie.
Slukkie, jy ken die reël spel. Slukkie,
You've got one beer left.
I have one.
No, don't let him open it now. Maar jy praat nou met boere. You in touch with the boere country now. Now you have to drink a beer, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
open
1
my
o'clock
last
in the
one.
morning. Drink
Yeah.
it. Ons sal vir jou 'n bottel fucking dop gee as jy hierso kom, dude. Ons sal tequila syp, my bro.
The first bottle of tequila is on me, guys.
Oh,
With you, with the three of us, it's the first 3 bottle of tequilas on me.
that's spot on. Yes, dude. Yeah.
People on the ship don't realize how much tequila I actually drink at home. I'm hoping you guys can just tell them that, But
It's insane. This guy consumes tequila like
It's
man.
water.
Yeah, like, I know Mexicans that don't drink as much freaking tequila as this dude. It's like, dude, I learned something amazing about tequila. And while we're on this now I can tell you about tequila. Tequila is actually there's a whole myth about tequila. Since let's brighten up the vibe a bit. Mahal was one of the gods that came to Earth, and Mahal fell in love with a man, a human being man, and she told the mother, "Listen, I want to be with him forever." And the mother said, "No, you can't be with him because he's a mortal human being. We will have to kill him then. He can't marry into our power, and we can't give him our power." So Mahal put him in our golf plant, and since then, every time, only true tequila connoisseurs will go Mahal instead of cheers. They'll go Mahal because every time we drink a tequila, we're helping her get closer to her lover.
Oh, okay. We must drink more tequila.
We must drink more tequila. So we are doing our best to bring Mahal closer to a lover and to a human man. So we are doing our share, my brother. Freaking hell. I know me and you have brought it a lot lot Shit.
Wel, daar's hy Slukkie.
Ja,
Slukkie, maar se kinders.
Slukkie.
To all of Chris's Christo's friends on the ship that are watching, when we say Slukkie, that means you have to take a drink. So
take a sip. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Slukkie. I'll even Slukkie with H2O, yeah? Ka-ching.
So Whitey, just to get back to you, what you said earlier is that basically people think they get it and it's over. But based on what we've seen and what we've learned here, there's no surety that you're immune to it once you get it. My antibodies show that I've got some resistance to it.
Yeah.
But it's, I'm not immune. I can get it again. I might get a different strain of it. I might get a different version of it. There's no, that's actually the big thing is that they said, just look at Sweden. A couple of weeks ago, everybody said, look at Sweden, look at Sweden. Well, if you look at Sweden, they're doing terribly. They've got almost 50% death rate of everybody who gets the virus. I don't know if, Whitey, if you can see the figures there.
I'm bringing it up.
Yeah. If you look at who's if you look at who's got it, so who's recovered and who didn't recover, it's like 50% of people that get it in Sweden end up dying. So they're the ones who said bring this whole herd mentality, and I can tell you that this virus is terrifying. You don't want it no matter what. Avoid it. There's no such thing as let me get it so I can build immunity. I mean, in my case, my symptoms weren't severe.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So new cases today 648, new deaths 95. That's quite high for.
But listen, doesn't Sweden have a lot more older population? I know, like Italy as well. More than 50% of their population is over the age of 50. And I'm sure it's the same in Sweden,
Yeah, but if you look at Sweden's thing there, Whitey, can you just go back there?
Yeah.
Sweden.
There it is. Okay, yeah. There it is. You look at total deaths.
Whoa, something happened. Whoa, that's not
no
me.
worries.
That's not me.
No worries, we'll sort it out.
But you look at total deaths versus total recoveries, and they're almost the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50. And those, where is it now?
Sweden, there we go.
There it is. Okay, there it is, yeah. What's it?
Yeah.
4,000?
No worries.
We'll sort it out. Working on it.
But those were the people who said herd mentality. I think they invented the term or coined the term or something. Herd immunity or whatever it is they call it.
There we go.
They're not doing too great. Okay, so total deaths 4,220. Total
Yeah.
recovered 4,971. That's almost a 50% death rate. Almost
Yeah.
half of people who get it end up dying, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they are the people who said no lockdown. We're just getting it, and whoever survives.
Yeah, check
And
that. You're 100% right, Christo. Look there. Singapore just
yeah,
underneath. Total deaths only 23, but total recovered 17,000. Jeez, man.
yes,
Wow.
yes,
That
yes.
is
So
hectic
Sweden is
when you look at it.
not doing great at all,
Yeah.
and I don't believe that we should get it so that we can build immunity to it, because you
Yeah.
won't be immune to it if a
You
different
don't know which strand you'll
version of
get.
it, or
Yeah.
you don't know who got it before you. You don't,
Mm,
there's just no sure way of building immunity to it,
shit.
from what we've seen here, and what the research we know, and
Yeah.
the people we've been speaking to. And by the way, our pretty much our entire medical team are South Africans.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's all
that's
South
our
African
boys.
doctors. Yeah. Well, the senior doctor is a lady, Ilse.
Yes.
She's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, all other doctors and nurses, all South Africans, and they will tell you exactly the same thing. And
Well,
I have to take my hat off to them, because they were completely overwhelmed when the shit hit the fan this side,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
they did such a good job, and yeah, that's why they get the big bucks.
You know what's
'cause-
funny is here in South Africa, we used to have the most qualified doctors and the
We still do,
one
and
of
they
the
go away.
one of the best medical personnel in the world, and now they had to fly guys in from what, Uruguay,
No,
to
not
come
Cuba.
and
Cuba.
work with us
Cuba.
from
Cuba,
Cuba.
yeah,
Yeah,
hundreds
so,
of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And now, we know the ties with Cuba. And the thing is, in South Africa, we're also politically freaking minded that
Driven, yeah.
instantly, the moment you check, okay, there's Cubans coming in, we know what their stance is on shit in America and all that stuff. And, are they coming in to support the ANC with stuff, or what the hell's happening? But, dude, it's nice to hear that the South Africans that represent us internationally, rise to the occasion and actually help those people that were there with you
Yeah.
guys. That's
Yeah.
phenomenal news, man. And you know what? To everybody on the ship there with you, if they're gonna watch this later, we super proud of you, massa kinders. Julle moet freaking dit so aanhou, hoor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
I
they're
know
great.
they'll understand us.
I will definitely forward this to them.
Yeah.
But they get offered mega bucks to work on Princess cruises. I mean,
Yeah.
they the cream of the crop people in the world.
Yes.
Princess, especially when it comes to the medical center, with the type of people we had, the slightly older crowd and stuff.
Yeah.
Princess only hires the best doctors
Medical
money can
guys,
buy.
yeah.
Those are all South Africans. They're all
Yeah.
South Africans, which is kind of reassuring, because when you sitting there, I mean, the other night I had a headache,
Yeah.
but a severe one, and
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. And it's the first headache I ever had in my life, so I didn't know what I was dealing with.
Okay.
And I got there, and they give this sort of South African lingo, and then you
Yes.
know from the tone in their voice if they're
Yeah.
serious or not serious.
Yeah. Jy
So
gaan
that
nou
was
right wees,
cool.
jy gaan nie vrek nie, is okay.
Yeah. You're not gonna kick the
Ja,
bucket.
trek jou
You're fine,
sokkies op, jy's 'n
But dude,
boersien.
how can you never have
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a headache when you drink as much tequila and shit as you do?
Jam so much.
And you've had hangovers, I'm sure.
On the ship, I haven't had a single hangover.
Fuck. You are blessed, my friend.
Actually, but
Ek was al vrotsiek op 'n skip hou.
that's weird. That's weird because when
Once
you're
I
on the
adapted
ship,
to it.
yeah, when I did the MFC cruises, when I did the jobs
MFC,
there,
yeah.
we would do our work, and then we all know the parties afterwards, and we
Yeah.
would finish. You guys are the tequila drinkers. I'm the Jägermeister drinker. I remember one night we jolled. It was Troy, Kevin, and myself, and we jolled, and we finished 3 bottles of Jägermeister. Never mind the tons of beer you drink throughout the day. The next morning you wake up and you're like, yes, I'm a bit tired, but no hangover. It's that fresh sea air that wouldn't fuck me up.
I
Sorry
don't
for
think
the
it was
language.
that. I think you just woke up pissed.
No. Let me tell you what happened. Is we've actually got a very strict policy. So we have what we call IPM, which is import minimum manning or something like that. Oh
Yeah.
crap! I'm in trouble if I don't know what IPM stands for. But anyway, import manning. Okay.
Yes.
So it basically stipulates that if the ship hits something or there's emergency or one of the pipe bursts or anything can happen,
Yeah.
you must still be sober enough to do your job at any given moment. And for that reason, if you've had too much to drink at the bar, even if you're off duty and even if you're off the next day, if you're beyond the limit, you will get fired. You will get disembarked. Because if the ship hits tragedy at that point, or has some kind of emergency, you need to be able to operate in your safety duties. So my job description on the ship, job number 1 is the safety of the passengers. Job number 2 is entertainment. But for that reason, I haven't had a single tequila since I've been on the ship, not one. So
at the moment you come here, you are gonna wish you were close to one of those doctors, because we are gonna break you,
I'm
let me
scared.
tell you.
I'm scared.
Jose Quiver and stuff, and hopefully by the time you get here, we can get our
The
hands
lockdown
on
is done,
on alcohol and stuff. Like South Africa, we're not allowed to smoke, we're not allowed to drink. It's probably because people think it's funny that South Africa's got that in place. But if you've ever drunk with any South African or freaking partied with us, maybe you'll have a bit more insight onto why they probably stopped all the dope and stuff, because we get freaking mold, dude. We drink unlike any other nations. I know that in Europe they think the Irish drink and shit. Those oaks don't drink like us, bro. We drink different. We drink to forget and shit. Those oaks,
that reminds me of something. I gotta tell you this. So there was an Irish band on the ship.
Yes.
So basically, the night we heard that there was COVID on the ship, tested positive. We were still partying that night, and the one guy, I won't mention his name, but he's one of my dear friends, so I'm not talking bad of him.
Paddy O'Brien.
This guy, I love this guy so much. But he had a lot of drinks that night. Okay. Then the next morning, he didn't feel so well. So when they were doing the thing, he got forced into isolation. This was before the whole cabin isolation where they take the keys away kind of thing. Because he showed symptoms, they had to isolate him. But the thing is that his band members went around telling everybody, no, he got isolated because of his hangover. But he was so angry because he actually says his hangover wasn't that bad. He was like experiencing the worst kind of lockup. Because of the hangover that wasn't really there. Anyway, that was like, man.
Now, Christo, what Chris just mentioned about how we as South Africans drink, you can, when they ask you this question for the picture I'm about to show you, you can explain it to them. Here we go. Let's bring it up on the screen. As Randfonteiners hoor daar's 'n roadblok op die Krugersdorp pad. Check there. Want hulle is almal doosdronk. Hulle is almal doosdronk. Verduidelik dit vir hulle, okay.
So the direct translation would be, if people from the town of Randfontein hear that there's a roadblock on the Krugersdorp highway, that's what it looks like. Because they're all drunk. But if you say doosdronk, the direct translation is vagina drunk. But you have to say cunt drunk.
That's the international lingo. Shit, dude. Well, you know what, Christy, we've been so blessed to have you on, man. And
definitely.
You know what, like I told people earlier on, I'm blown away that you're still with us. And you know what, we thank whoever, Allah, Buddha, and Jesus, that you're still around. And that, dude, the moment you get back here, we are gonna crack a bottle. We are gonna freaking get mole. And you need the African sun. I think that's the one thing that's keeping South Africa and the whole Africa safe, is the African sun. You know what? African sun is not for sissies. Not even that virus manages to survive that hard here. And you know what? You took some time. I know it's kak late there. And
I'm happy.
Ja, lekker. Jy het nou net daai bier oopgemaak, my bro. Jy moet hom baie lekker drink en lekker geniet. Wat se bier is daai?
This is actually a beer from Tasmania in Australia called Cascades.
Yeah.
It
Is it the
reminds me
lager
very
or what?
much.
Cascades Lager.
Yeah, premium light lager.
Yeah.
Um, I was performing earlier, so I made a mistake of buying a light beer because I
Yeah.
didn't want to get too drunk and then go on stage.
Yes.
And next thing I know, everybody's bringing me this beer.
Yeah.
So I got paid in beers tonight because I'm already
Fucking
off contract.
listen, you know how
Not
many
a
South
contract
Africans won't freaking flinch twice about getting paid in dope and cigarettes at the moment, dude.
Jesus.
I can't tell
But
you
you know
because
what's
you. Huh?
no, say again.
With South Africa at the moment, because with old people and guys that have been smoking their whole lives, if you stop smoking all of a sudden and you've got some other underlying health
They'd
issues,
be very sick.
that'll freaking kill you too. So, you know
Yeah.
what? They're saving a couple of people by doing this, but fucking hell, dude, the stress that it's put on a lot of people and people's health is just insane. I can't tell you
But
how.
Chris, you know what?
Ons is constantly
People ask,
befuck.
yeah, people asked me earlier about South Africa. They said, "What's the solution?" I mean, I know from my family that have their own little businesses, and
Yeah.
my mom is one of them, and friends that are musicians and stuff that are struggling to make ends meet now.
Yes.
Um, I'm glad I'm here, not there, because I would literally be terrified.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they asked me, what would you do? Would you open the country and let people get sick, or would you rather keep it closed?
Yeah.
And I'm saying that it's our civic duty, and it's our how can I say, it's a must for us to
Yeah.
make sure that we don't get this virus and pass it on to people that we love.
Yeah.
You
Got
know?
you.
Well,
Got
dude,
you.
we are
Because
doing our best, but it's a 50-50. You know, 50% of
yeah,
us
but that's the thing.
are doing the effort, and the other 50% don't give a shit about it. And
Yeah,
at the moment, with them,
they will.
like,
They will when they get it.
yeah,
Believe me.
and
Yeah,
now with
and
them
it,
taking away cigarettes and alcohol, you know, half the people on the road during the day are either trying to go get freaking smoke somewhere because they've got an addiction they've got to feed, or trying to get some dope because they got to stay indoors. So by them doing that, they've created so much more traffic and so much more illicit trade and so much more risk, if we can say that, by just doing that. Obviously, they've
yeah.
got their reasons, but fucking, it doesn't make
How
sense because
many
the rest of the world can
pairs
do
of
it and they're all
hands?
right. Yeah,
Yeah. How many pairs of hands did those cigarettes go through before they got to you? You know,
yeah.
you're telling me every single person washed his hands before he
No.
passed, and scrubbed the box, the carton before he passed it on to the next guy, to the next guy. No,
Yeah.
that's why I was saying earlier. Like I do believe that people have a right to work and earn a living,
Yeah.
and that's being taken away from them. And to drink and to smoke, it's our choice. I mean, telling me I can't smoke is like telling Whitey or you or whoever they can't have a beer,
Yeah.
or they can't have a chocolate, or they can't
They're
drink
doing that.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You know, they're taking the right to choose away from us. So I don't agree with that. But I
Communism
also
101.
understand. Yes, but I also understand that they had to buy us some time and they had to keep people safe. But
Yeah.
now I believe, this is just my point of view, and as I said,
Yeah.
it's just my opinion. I don't think we can stop this virus anymore. It's now up to each of us to say, listen, we need to open the country because we need to feed our kids,
Yeah.
but we need to make sure that we do our part not to pass it on from one person
Yeah.
to another person, because
Yeah.
I'm terrified of going home and picking it up at the airport along the way and passing it
Yeah.
on to my mom. I'll never forgive myself if that happens,
Yes.
Yeah.
because it's literally, this is the most dangerous virus I've ever seen. I mean, the norovirus we used to have on the ships
I know
is
that one.
Mickey Mouse, like just as contagious,
Yeah.
but that thing was terrifying. But this is something that will kill you if you don't take care of it. You can't just
Yeah.
get sick. Oh, I just got a flu and carry on. You literally
Yes.
have to make sure that you're not gonna die. You have to get checked out, because
Yeah.
you have a very good chance of not recovering properly. There's another thing that they also don't mention, is this thing does damage to your lungs.
Okay.
Um, and to your respiratory system.
Yes.
So even when you're recovered, you've still got some damage done.
Okay.
And
That's irreversible.
thing.
You're never going to get that back.
well, that's what I was told, yeah, by some of
Okay.
the experts, yeah. And the thing is that once you recovered, you may say, okay, cool, now I'm immune. No, you're not. Chances are that you can get it again, or chances are you can pass it on to somebody you love, you know.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
the scary part. So I do think they must open the country, because I mean, literally, I've got friends who are just, they're not doing well, and
Yeah.
family as well. And that's going to be me when I get back home. Luckily, I saved some money on the ship, but
Yes.
um, they have to open the economy. People need to feed their kids, and put clothes and food on the table.
Yeah.
So you can't keep it going for too much longer. And the people, I think, will revolt. I honestly think if
Yeah.
they carry on with this shit, people are gonna start taking to the streets.
Well, dude,
Yeah.
it's close to that. Today, I saw a meme where one of our ministers that's pretty much running the country right now, there was a meme where she says she's going to ban braaiing. And the moment I
Yeah, I
saw
saw
that,
that.
I was like, you want to start a civil war, that's all you do is you ban braaiing.
You ban the braai.
I know Oaks can live without smokes and maybe a bit of dope, but now they're bringing dope back. From the 1st of June, hopefully, we can get alcohol again that we can drink at our homes. The pubs and
Yeah.
shit will still be closed. But fucking taking away a South African's braai is
Yeah,
it's-
that's the worst thing.
yeah,
And I'm
braai's
trying to
sacred,
explain
dude.
to
It's-
these, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to explain to these people what a braai is, And at the end of it, they're always saying, "Oh, barbecue." I don't know if my American friend is still watching, but
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, it's a barbecue." I say,
Yeah.
"No, it's not a barbecue, my friend.
No.
First of all, you need the right wood, because you need
Yeah.
the right flavors and the right
Gardo,
scent
yeah.
to go into
Yeah,
your
yeah.
meat. So you use mupani or sikkelbos, so you use the right meats, and
Yes.
it's done specifically done that way, and you can smell a wooden braai a mile away, right?
Yes.
You don't braai on gas or charcoal, man, unless it's the
No.
middle of the night and you're drunk. But that's not a braai. That's just making food. A braai needs to be good braai. It needs to be proper, And you
dude-
can't have a braai without beers. So
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know how you guys were coping the last 2 months.
Well, dude, you know what's okay is on Saturday nights, and that's one thing that I must say, South Africa, why I love this place so much. On a Saturday night, I can go sit on the porch, and you
And
can
just
just
into the
smell
smell.
Yeah.
the wood fires burning, and you can smell Oaks braaiing. Like from a Saturday morning, when you open your eyes, that's what you smell. You're smelling the neighbor down the road's freaking boerewors coming up here. But all that wood, and that's one thing that makes us South African, man. It's that Friday or Saturday night braai. Doesn't matter. You can drive in a car and you can go past open veld and you can go, there's somebody that's there because they're
Yep.
braaiing now. You can smell it.
But
That's the
Christo,
one
we
thing-
And that's with a wooden braai.
but Christo, we just want to say again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our time has come to an end, and we, so this it shows you how quickly an hour with us runs away. How quickly it runs away. And you've really opened our eyes, and I've got a new respect for this virus. I know the numbers are low here by us, but yeah, it is. When you said you're so shit scared of bringing it home and giving it to your mom, that is a big fear. It is a big fear. So thank you for opening our eyes. Thank you for coming on the show. And yes, we can't wait to have you back again here. And like
Winston,
Chris said,
can't wait.
yes, spel. Winston, ons gaan daai plek leeg syp.
Ons gaan dit breek. Ons gaan fucking sif word. Maar luister, Christo, stay online so we can chat a bit after this. And but dude, once again, you know what? For everybody watching this, guys, now you've heard it out of the horse's mouth. This guy had first-hand experience with everything. Opened your eyes. It definitely opened my eyes to a whole new, different perspective. And dude, I hope the rest of South Africa can listen to this show as we had it tonight, because this is as honest as we get. We're having a dope together, and we can talk about the way Boere talk about shit, bro. We get to the point, and we know what we're saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
once again,
thank
Christo,
you. And thank you guys for having me.
Awesome,
And
man. Thank you.
yeah, I'm glad I could have given some insight, because this thing is not a joke. It's the most serious thing I've seen ever.
Okay.
It's not a joke.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me on that topic.
So just
time,
stay. I'm just going to take you off the feed, and we're going to say goodnight to our
Yes.
fans, and we'll chat to you
Awesome.
now. Cheers.
Thank you. Yeah, cool. I was like,
That's it, guys. So, wow, what an informative show. You see, It's not just
fucking mind's
entertainment
blown.
we give you guys, although
Yeah.
this man is a super entertainer, but
Yeah.
we needed to hear this. And I'm so glad we could have heard it from him. A close friend of ours that had to go through this and who's still going through it and that has to go through it when he gets back home. So I'm just glad, like you said, Chris, that the guy is okay. We love him to bits. He's an absolutely amazing friend of ours.
Yes.
And guys, so yeah, tomorrow night, Bro Thursday, as usual, where we chat to you guys. We're going to chat about all the shit that's happening.
Yes.
We'll review, Christo, what we chat about if there's something you want to say. And then Friday, we're almost on confirming who the person we want to have on. And then it's Friday night, party time with Whitey and Chris again. So
get ready. And guys, you know what? Once again, thank you for joining us tonight. Remember to like and subscribe the page. Whether you're on Facebook or on WhatsApp, on YouTube, tell us. Come and subscribe, like it, and share it with your friends, please. This is, you know what, we did this so you guys can benefit from it. This is some lekker entertainment, mouth to mouth. This is better than all the cuck you'll watch on TV. This is in your living room, and you can have a chat with us. This is next generation stuff. So, to everybody that's joined us, I know I said it yesterday. We've passed 3,000 likes on Facebook. We're almost getting to 10,000. It's getting there. And on YouTube, it's also growing substantially every day. And you know what? We got to tell you guys we love you. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Well, goodbye, everybody. From SA Bro.